Dems debate.
In Des Moines, Iowa, Democratic Party presidential aspirants gathered last Saturday for a debate. On the platform were Hillary Clinton, Martin O'Malley, and Bernie Sanders. John Dickerson of CBS News moderated. First up, a testy exchange over donors, special interests, and banking reform.
We are relying on small campaign donors, 750,000 of them, $30 apiece. That's who I'm indebted to.
Well, John, wait a minute.
Personal privilege.
He has basically used his answer to impugn my integrity. Let's be frank here. Oh, wait a minute, Senator. You know, not only do I have hundreds of thousands of donors, most of them small, and I'm very proud that for the first time, a majority of my donors are women, 60%.
Is Hillary Clinton in the pocket of big donors? I ask you, Clarence.
Well, thank you for asking, and I'd say no more than other candidates are, with the exception of Donald Trump, who is a big donor to himself. But but the fact is, I mean, big donors do tend to give the most money. Except, well, Bernie Sanders has not been appealing to big donors either. But the thing is that Hillary Clinton never really pinned Bernie down on this. But can he point to any point where her donors have influenced her vote? I mean, that's really something that has not been proved, but it's always charged.
Well, it's a problem in the Democratic primaries because progressives are worried about income inequality, and they think if she's a creature of Wall Street, she's not going to deliver for them. I don't think it'll be a problem in November, and she needs the money from Wall Street. I think the only mistake she made there was that she seemed to suggest that 9/11, her work during 9/11 is what endeared Wall Street to her. She seemed to politicize 9/11, and you know, she got a lot of negative stuff on social media because of that.
Okay, Wall Street.
We were attacked in downtown Manhattan, where Wall Street is. I did spend a whole lot of time and effort helping them rebuild. That was good for New York, it was good for the economy, and it was a way to rebuke the terrorists who had attacked our country. So, you know, it's fine for you to say what you're going to say, but I look very carefully at your proposal. Reinstating Glass-Steagall is a part of what very well could help, but it is nowhere near enough. My proposal is tougher, more effective, and more comprehensive, because I go after all of Wall Street, not just the big bank.
Many analysts think Hillary's use of 9/11 in her way to justify her close ties to Wall Street was in bad taste and a major blunder. Are they right? Pat Buchanan.
It was in terrible taste, John. But I think the best line, we haven't seen it, the whole debate, was when Bernie Sanders said that, you know, that the climate change is directly responsible for terrorism.
No,
it was a winning line.
Well, he's basically saying that the drought
waters will rise and all the rest of it.
Well, no, that the drought in Syria contributed to some of the rebellions there. But I think his larger point is that the existential threat we face is not from terrorism, it's from climate change, and he's right about that.
Do you know who Glenn Thrush is?
Yeah,
Politico. Glenn Thrush.
Politico's
Yes.
White House correspondent.
Okay, he called Hillary's comments about Wall Street and 9/11, quote, nuts. That's crazy and indefensible. Is he right? Answer, he's wrong. Because no matter how nuts and indefensible a comment by Hillary might seem, Eleanor will find a way to defend it.
What's that? Well, John, let me just say that Hillary will have a problem with those contributors if she runs against Trump, who thus far has not taken any money from big contributors at all, even any small contributors. He'll say, look, don't tell me you haven't been bought. I know this. Right. I used to be part of the buying group. Right. And it would really be a real cutting issue if Trump was the guy.
Have you ever seen an election turn on the campaign donation issue?
Everybody
help. Talks about it, but it doesn't really swing elections.
I agree, but it'd help with some folks.
The only issue Hillary Clinton will have in terms of campaign finance, if it comes out that there was collusion between the Clinton Foundation and when she was Secretary of State. Otherwise, she's just the same as every Republican candidate. But would you agree that is she's not going to have an issue with getting Wall Street donations?
The Republicans do the right's still looking for Rosebud, but if Trump is the nominee, he's going to have a lot of other problems with women, with African Americans, with Hispanics, that I don't think the donor inequality is going to be.
Hillary might have
issue.
a little problem with a failed foreign policy.
Why shouldn't we utter the word?
Let's see what all the right wingers want in terms of an alternative.
Okay, language war.
The critique is that the softness of language betrays a softness of approach. So if this language, if you don't call it by what it is, how can your approach be effective to the cause? That's the critique.
I believe calling it what it is to say radical jihadis. That's to call what it is.
That
I don't
phrase-
think the term is what's important. What is important to understand is we have organizations, whether it is ISIS or Al Qaeda, who do believe we should go back several thousand years. We should make women third-class citizens, that we should allow children to be sexually assaulted.
Historically, it is important to try to understand your adversary in order to figure out how they are thinking, what they will be doing, how they will react.
So why shouldn't we, out of the words radical Islam, when defining a terrorist group like ISIS?
Because there's 1.5 billion Muslims in the world, and they love the word Islam. And if you put it in connection with terrorism and radical terrorists, some of them they feel who are good, decent Muslims will be offended by it.
Okay, being liberal.
All of us support funding Planned Parenthood. All of us believe climate change is real. All of us want equal pay for equal work. They don't believe in any of that. So let's focus on what this election is really going to be about.
Eleanor, what's the election going to be about?
The election is going to be about principally about the economy and inequality of income in this country. I think national security looms large now, and it will loom big then, but elections in this country are always about bread and butter issues.
Do you remember the GOP debate in Milwaukee?
I do.
13.5 million viewers. 13.5 million viewers saw it on TV.
Right.
The second Democratic debate drew 8.6 million viewers. What's the answer to that?
Well,
There's
it
no
was a
contest in the
Saturday
Democratic
night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we got that
and there are no car crashes in the Democratic debates. They all pretty much agree with each other, and
Hillary's
so
got
it's
it
not
locked
good
up.
television.
She's got it locked up.
But
The
game
fact
is
is,
over,
Americans
John.
are tuning out to the Democratic agenda.
No, Hillary, the
Republican
Democratic,
They know who's the winner.
Democratic nomination is decided.
Right.
It's Hillary Rodham Clinton. Why would you want to watch a game that doesn't count?
It's Democrats game
Besides,
over.
typically later debates draw smaller audiences than the initial debate. That happens, as far as I know, every 4 years. It's
Right
a
again,
PBS game.
Clarence, right again.
Thank you.
Okay, ACA.
Why do we continue to get ripped off by the drug companies who can charge us any prices they want? Why is it that we are spending per capita far, far more than Canada? Medicare for all, single-payer system is the way we should go.
I've looked at the legislation that Senator Sanders has proposed, and basically he does eliminate the Affordable Care Act, eliminates private insurance, eliminates Medicare, eliminates Medicaid, TRICARE, Children's Health Insurance Program, puts it all together in a big program which he then hands over to the states to administer. I think as Democrats, we ought to proudly support the Affordable Care Act, improve it, and make it the model that we know it can be.
Will Hillary's support for the Affordable Care Act cost her votes in the general election, yes or no?
It'll help her with some, and it will hurt her with others, and it's already been counted on both sides.
And whoever it hurts her with wasn't going to vote for her in the first place.
Well, some young people might turn against it because
you
of their
know how many
costs.
young people turned against ACA?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen them. I love to talk to them.
I've seen quite a few
You know,
liberals as well
'cause I
who were
mean,
pissed off with their premiums.
You know, well, premiums, but you know, before ACA premiums are going up anyway. Some
Not
people
this
forget
much.
that. Oh, well, yes, they were. Yes, they were. We
think
can go
so.
back
We
and
can
talk
have a
about that too.
statistical analysis on
Numbers,
that.
numbers, but they.
Numbers.
Clarence is right again. Right again, Clarence. Who has the best health care reform proposal? According to PPP. What's PPP?
Progressive policy polling.
Progressive,
right.
what's progressive mean?
So
Here we go again.
It's like
not,
liberal.
It's not a
Right.
Left wingers.
Like
Left
liberal.
wingers, let's see, what do they favor? 42.3% favor ACA. ACA 49.5% opposes. So it's PPP 42.3 and ACA 49 opposed. Hillary wants to keep it. Republicans think that's dumb, but Sanders' proposal is dumber by saying total government control will be better. Does everybody here approve of that? Do you?
I think it's going to be difficult for her, but Republicans need to propose their own plan beyond saying tort reform. That is a fair criticism.
Yeah, the Affordable Care Act is here to stay.
And countries that have health care don't think it's dumb at all.
Okay, climate.
Senator Sanders, you said you want to rid the planet of ISIS. In the previous debate, you said the greatest threat to national security was climate change. Do you still believe that?
Absolutely. In fact, climate change is directly related to the growth of terrorism. And if we do not get our act together and listen to what the scientists say, you're going to see countries all over the world. This is what the CIA says. They're going to be struggling over limited amounts of water, limited amounts of land to grow their crops, and you're going to see all kinds of international conflict.
But is he right or wrong about climate change being our greatest threat?
That's absurd.
I've already said that's not absurd. He is right.
Will it be tone deaf for Bernie to place climate change above ISIS as a threat before the carnage it even cleans up in Paris?
No, you have to address the crisis that's right in front of you, obviously, initially, but that doesn't mean that you forget about the one that's looming in the years ahead that's going to affect your children and your grandchildren.
Bernie is why Hillary is going to be the candidate, because he says
both
things
sides
like
of that dial.
On climate change?
No,
I've never been
on what
off.
you bring to bear. Would it be only the president, or can we also talk about the future? It depends on what Ellen is defending.
Right.
No, I think
I don't know.
Politics are always about the future.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Out of time. Bye.